to Learning English Pro. I'm on earlier than usual today, just to have some appointments later. So I'm just popping on. I hope everyone can join me today, all my usual crew. I'm usually on about 4 p.m. Irish time, so it's just after 2:30 now. So I hope everyone is can join me, or maybe we'll get some new people. So if this is your first time watching the live, we do an English quiz here. My name is Jer. And yeah, I'm here most days of the week. We do English vocabulary quizzes on lots of different topics. We've done space recently, we've done cooking, we've done food, we've done death, we've done funerals, we've done driving as well. So many different topics. And as usual, you're going to jump in. I'm going to have all the stuff on the screen, and you're going to join me for a quiz. I'm your English teacher, Jer, and we're doing kind of household vocabulary stuff today. An interesting mix. And yeah, I'm just going to refresh my screen. As usual, I have my cup of tea. So if you're a tea drinker, join me in having a nice cup of tea. Let's see who's here today. Marianne Mohammed, hello to you. Richard, hi, how are you? Stabworthy, yes, we are early today. We are early. Second, hello, Sumik. Hello, hello, hello. Let me just up this camera a little bit. Oh, there we go. Is that better? Is that better? Looking down on me from above. Hello, hello, Karan Kumar. Um, Stabworthy, you're from New Jersey. You're from New Jersey. Hello to you. Richard, good evening. Yeah, we're coming a little bit earlier just for a few different reasons. Karan Kumar, yeah, so my eye is still causing me a bit of trouble. So I have an appointment later for that and another appointment tomorrow. And I just wanted to try an earlier feed for once. I know that there was a time change in Ireland. I didn't know that there wasn't a time change in India. So, and a big part of my audience is India. So I'm just coming on a little bit earlier as a bit of an experiment, just to see kind of what the reaction is. But I do have an appointment later for my eye because it's starting to get bad again, and I want to get it sorted. I don't want, being on camera, it kind of makes it a little bit of a pain in the ass. So it's 8:07. Yeah, so I think 8:07 might be a nice time. Do you know Garen, the Irish YouTuber? He mostly talks about food. Yeah, Garen Noon. He's on TikTok as well. I haven't met him. I have met other Irish TikTokers and YouTubers at YouTube events and stuff. I get invited to some nice YouTube stuff every now and again. Two this year, I got invited to Zurich with YouTube, and then they had a party in Dublin city centre, so I didn't have too far to go. But yeah, YouTube does a very nice party. I can say I've been very privileged to go. So there's a TikTok ban in India. Oh yes, I'm aware of that. But I think a lot of you can still access it though, can't you? I've heard on the grapevine. In India, it's 8:07. Yeah, in Ireland, it's just gone 2:38. 2:38. So if this is your first time, I'm a little bit earlier today. I'm experimenting with times. Here on the East Coast, it is 9:37 a.m. Wow. Wow, you are an early bird. So you're passionate towards your work. I have lots of respect, sir. You're going great job to teach us. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Karan Kumar. Yeah, it is a lot of work, but I really enjoy what I do. I spent a lot of time, a lot of time working in shops as a shop assistant, as a sales assistant. Sorry, I was going to clean my glasses. And, kind of feeling that I could do more in life, or not even more, just what makes you happy. What kind of, I always remember the famous American Oprah Winfrey. I always remember she said that you should um, do in your life what aligns with your soul, what makes you happy, and what your passion is. And that's a very difficult thing for a lot of people to do, logistically, because of where you're from, where you grow up, what your brain is structured like. But, for me, the last 2 years have just been the best 2 years of my life. And it's been lovely. And meeting all you guys is so nice as well. I can see. I'm actually going to clean my camera because I noticed on one of I've forgotten to totally clean the camera many times. There we are. We're all polished. and shiny today. So, what is the topic? So, we're going back to household, something a little bit more accessible for everybody. Yesterday we were doing space and we've done driving, but what if you're not into space? What if you're not into driving? So, I thought I'd come at this from a few different perspectives and how we're going to handle household. We're going to do some cleaning stuff. Well, we might have done some of this stuff before, so you'll be tested. But what are we doing? And it's nice to see some sunshine when I'm a little bit early. It's the sun is shining on my there we go. But if it's too much, if it's there's too much of a glare or anything, let me know. We're not used to sunshine here at this time of the day. But yeah, hope everyone's well. This is the quiz. We're doing household, we're doing cleaning, we're doing some DIY stuff, we're doing some bathroom stuff. So really, really interesting. I like your sweater. Thank you very much. The sun, I can catch in the sun. I do like a knit sweater. I do like a knit sweater. Carmine is here. Hi, Carmine. How are you? I hope you're well. Translating to German as always, hello, hello, hello. And if you're drinking, having a cup of tea or a coffee or maybe something stronger, cheers. Oh, that's a good tea. I knew I was late, but I still had to get my tea before the live. Okay, so we have our quiz. If you're just new to the channel, I'm coming on a little bit earlier today. I hope that's okay with everybody. I have an appointment later and maybe one tomorrow. So yeah, you've inspired us. Thank you, Karan Kumar. I hope so. I hope so. So I'm live from Dublin, if this is your first time watching, and I hope everyone is well. Shafiq, hello to you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope I'm saying everyone's name right. So let's dive into the quiz, everybody. We're doing English vocabulary relating to household, but don't worry, it's going to be interesting. And I want it to be a challenge. A lot of people think, oh, I know everything about English, but do you know these particular words? Because all these words are pretty well known to English speakers. So yeah, it's not okay with me. Come back in an hour or two. Sorry, Stabworthy. Sorry. But Stabworthy is always American stuff here for you. I always think of you. So our first household item is this. Okay, so I want to know what would I call it in English? What would I call this thing? We roll it. Oh, there's a word. We put it all over our bodies to collect something, isn't it? So what is it? What do we call this when you have bits of maybe dog hair or dust? And we put it all over. So what is the name of this common household object? Stabworthy's in. Is this a tricky one? Let me see. Richard is in. Hi, Richard. Hello, hello. Hello to everyone. So if you're not sure, have a look and see what other people have commented in the chat and jump in with your answer. It's a roller. Has Hazan Abbas? Yes, it is a roller. And more particularly, it's a lint roller. Sabworthy was in with lint roller. So is Richard. Lint removal. Yes, it's lint removal, a lint roller. It's a waste of money. Just put some sticky tape. It does the same job. There we go. So not only do we have household vocabulary, we have household savings with Stabworthy. So congratulations. Congratulations. Okay. So what would we call this object? Okay, this is an everyday thing we have in the house, used to clean the floor, but particularly what type of tool is this? So if you know English, you should know maybe one of the words we would call this. I would call it something something. Let's see what you guys say. I'm interested to see what you might call it. If you're not sure, have a guess. Baker Hamilton is in. Yes, that's a great guess. I will let you all know what the correct answer is. What would I call this? If I wanted to clean my floor, what would I call it? It's a particular type, isn't it? One that we do a particular motion with. So what would we call it? Okay, so I see the word brush in there from Baker Hamilton. Welcome to the channel, Baker Hamilton. Richard is saying a cloth brush. So I would definitely say brush, but we have a really good word in from Ronaldo Galido. I hope I'm saying your name right, with scrub. And that's what this is, isn't it? When you scrub. Thank you, Baker Hamilton. A floor brush. You're getting close, but we had the word scrub there from Ronaldo Galido. So And I see Carmine in there with a great German word, if I'm pronouncing, if I'm my translations are working all right. But this is a scrubbing brush, right? When we scrub, it's what is it? It's intense cleaning, isn't it? We intensely clean something. That's scrubbing. So you would scrub the floor, you would scrub, like a dirty pan or a pot, maybe if it's really dirty and the dirt is very, connected to it. So this is a scrubbing brush. That's the word we call it. A wire brush. No, a wire brush is something else. I don't have a wire brush on the thing. A wire brush will have very wiry, very stiff metal um, hairs here. That's what a wire brush is. A scrubber? No, I would go a scrubbing brush. A scrubbing brush. And of course, we have Slabworthy in with the lyrics, which I didn't even connect in my mind because it's one of my favorite songs, No Scrubs. Yo, let me give you something to think about. I'm not gonna do it. I've already done the rapping. Um, hanging at the side of the best friend's right, trying to holler at me. Ow! A scrubbing brush. Yes, exactly. A scrubbing brush. So we do this motion when we're scrubbing, we're cleaning really hard. This is a scrubbing brush. So we kind of name it after the verb to scrub. Okay? I have to stop doing this. Okay, so we had. I think I'll come back to that in a second. Okay, so what is this one called? Answer in the chat. What is it called in English? Let me know. Okay, so a scrubbing brush, yes. So we have Ronaldo Galido and Hazan Abbas. Sore Phil, we're getting lots of Indian flags. Hello to you, all my Indian followers. Hello to you. Make sure and jump in and say where you're from in India. Sabra is saying SpongeBob. I've never seen SpongeBob. I've never ever seen SpongeBob. I was the Simpsons generation. I'm a little bit older, everybody. I'm a little bit older. So Hazaban Abyss is saying sponge. So is Ronaldo Galido. Baker Hamilton is saying sponge. Richard Vard is in with sponge as well. It looks like cheese. It does look a little bit like cheese, doesn't it? It does look a little bit like so. Yes, you're all correct. It is sponge. Sorrowful is from New Delhi. I am from Dublin in Ireland. I know this looks similar to the Indian flag, but this is the Irish flag here. So I'm in Dublin in Ireland, and hello to you across the world. Hello to all my Indian viewers and someone in New Jersey. There's a guy in New Jersey with a lovely dog who's watching. Okay, I have to stop with the New Jersey accent as well. Okay, so what is this one called? So we had wire brush earlier. This is similar to a wire brush, but we have some particular names for this in English. Jump on and let me know. What do you think this might be called? Hmm. What's it made of? And what does it do? Think of the kind of words that we've had already. And I'm interested to see what Americans might call this. Steel wool. Yes, that's what I would call it. I would call it steel wool as well. We could also call it, and that's from Ronaldo and Richard, um, steel wool. Yes, I would call it steel wool. Someone else might call it. Now, we like to scrub. We had the term to scrub. We also have the verb to scour. And that's when you really, really clean, really deeply to scour something, to scour, everything shaking. So this might be called a scouring. Let me just make sure I'm saying it right. Sorry, I just want to make sure. A steel scourer, a scourer, or a scouring steel sponge, maybe. But we have a few different words: steel wool, or a scourer. Okay, SCOUR, scour, to scour. So tricky words today. Okay, so what are we going to call this? These are from cookies. It could be from a cake. What type of mess is this? What do we say? Can you clean up the, or you maybe you want to eat them? Sometimes they do it on desserts or stuff like that, don't they? But what do we call these? Okay, we have Ronaldo in, Richard, Stabworthy, yeah, and this word has a silent letter in it. So just make sure that you're remembering that there is a silent letter in it. There's a silent B in this word. So maybe just have a look at some of your spellings and just make sure that you've spelt it right. I should have had some biscuits or cookies with this tea now that I'm looking at. Chanty Pearl Fritz, hello to you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the quiz. You're in with crumbs, Chanty Pearl Fritz, and you are correct. Now we have lots of people in with crumbs. Some of you have left out the B, and the B is silent here. So if you have a look at some of the other guesses, we have Crumbs, crumbs. So some of you have spelled it phonetically, but it does have a B in there, an annoying little B. So we had Ronaldo, Richard, Stabworthy, Carmine, I think, is in with Krummel, which I assume is the same in German. Richard, Hassan, and Shanti Pearl Fritz were you were all in with Crumbs. Check out the Crumb Buns, punk band from Texas. Oh, there we go. More music. I love music. Okay, Crumbs. Yes, Richard. Very good. So we're going to cover things that we're covering cleaning stuff, but we're going to cover weird things as well. Okay, what is this product called? So it smells nice. That's my clue here with the nice aroma smell. What do we call this? If someone has a stinky moment, maybe the dog has a stinky moment, what do we call this? So it's not for up your nose, it's for the room. We're calling it, we're looking at the whole room. We're spraying it around the room, making it smell nicer. What is it called? Okay. Stabworthy, plenty of choices here for joking, I'm sure. It is perfume. Yeah, it is a type of perfume, but a perfume for a room. If there's an accident, if there's something smelly happens and you want to cover the smell, you might even do this spray. Okay. So lots of correct answers in, okay? So it is a air freshener. Ronaldo is in. Freshener from Richard. Yes, air freshener from Stabworthy. It's a perfume. Yeah, it's a type of perfume. Yeah, a room freshener. Beautiful. That's a great way to say it. That's another way we could say it, a room freshener. But yeah, it's like a perfume for the air in the room around us. If someone has a fart or someone drops something that's food that's smelly or some smell comes in the window, you want to spray it around the room. A freshener, a room freshener, a spray freshener. I would just stick with air freshener. We could call it maybe a room spray, maybe a room spray, maybe, but air freshener is the best way I would describe this product. Okay, so let's move on. So, what is this white stuff that's being kicked up here and it settles everywhere? What do we call? We had crumbs earlier, but what is this stuff called? We can see someone's wiping it away here. What is it called? And we can see this thing and all this stuff. What is it called? You know, is your house, did you have this in your house? Do you clean your house? So lots and lots of people in with the correct answer. If this is your first time here with the quiz, jump into the chat and let me know. If you're not sure, have a peek at what other people are saying, copy and paste it in yourself. So we have loads and loads of correct answers in. Well done, everybody. Baker Hamilton is in with dust. Very well done. Siraj Pandey, dust. Hello, Siraj. Masil Cortez Robles, dust. Ronaldo, dust. Hassan Stabworthy, dusty. Yes, very good. That's our adjective, isn't it? Bam, bam, bam. So dust is the noun. Dust particles. Oh, that's beautiful, Gretchen. Gretchen. Dust particles. Yeah, that's when they're floating in the air, isn't it? A duster. Oh, you're jumping ahead. We might have this in a little while, so put that in your back pocket. Abione 414 says dust. Looks like butter. What kind of butter are you eating? Limberlaya, what butter are you eating? This butter? Or this looks like butter? Scrubs. I don't want no scrubs. Sudhan Shu, hello to you. Okay, let's move on with our next one, okay? So earlier we had, what do we have? We had crumbs, we've had dust. What would I call this? What would I call this situation? I'm gonna have, hopefully I don't have this situation with my tea. Oh, so Sudan Shu, you're in the library. So I hope you have your headphones on. So, what would we call this situation? So, here we have some nice red wine that's been spilt over. What would we call this situation? Tan Tron is here. Hello, Tan Tron. Hello to you. Very welcome to the channel. Make sure to subscribe and jump in with your answer. Paint. Oh, it could be paint, but we have glass here, so I'd say it's wine. A wine fleck. Do Germans have a term for when it's specifically wine? We're getting some sunshine, everybody. Okay, blood. Thank you, thank you. I love your imagination. So we had Suraj Pandey in with spill. Yeah, this is a spill. Someone spilled something. Hassan spill. Marcel Cortez is in with spill. Well done. Spill the beans. I love that. That's an idiom, isn't it? For someone, tell the truth. Spill the beans. Spill wine. Abione. Yeah, spill wine. Spilled liquid from Gretchen. Perfect. Red wine stain. Oh, very good. You might be jumping ahead as well with a word that's coming up. Sorry, spilled a glass of wine. Hassan, very good. Blood on the Dance Floor by Sophie Alice Baxter. There's murder on the dance floor. Oh, it's murder on the dance floor. So Carmine is saying, yeah, thanks, Carmine. So yeah, we have a spill. You could also call it a spillage. We would say if when I worked in supermarkets and the customer dropped something or something was spilled on the floor, we would say we have a spillage in aisle five, please. Can we get the cleaner to aisle five? We have a spillage in aisle five. So there we go, a spill or a spillage. So someone might have said this word. What would we call this one? Do I have any? No, I don't have any on my desk. My desk is very clean. What would we call this? A spillage in the village. Oh, that's a great name for a band. Yo, let me give you something to think about. If a guy who can see the future and a guy who could read minds played chess, who would win? God, that's a riddle. I don't know. I don't know. I think it would be neutral then. It would be a stalemate, would it be? So we have a glass stain or a stain from Suraj Pandey. We have Marcel Cortez in with glass stain. Yes, it would be a stalemate, probably. Stain on the cloth. Yeah, this is a stain, isn't it? We could call it, maybe to me, it's more of a coffee stain, maybe, or a tea stain. It could be a stain, yeah, from glass, maybe if you were having coffee in a glass, maybe. Yeah, a stain. A stain is really the word I was looking for. Das ist ein Kaffee vor Rückstand an Ostglas von der Tasse. There we go. There's my German for today. So yeah, we have a stain, a coffee stain, a tea stain, a mug stain, a cup stain. So we would, what do we call this? And I'm doing this motion. I'm always doing weird motions on this thing. So I would hold it in the handle and I would be removing something, wouldn't I, with this? Removing maybe paint, maybe wallpaper, maybe some rust, maybe some dirt, maybe. What would I call this implement? Let me just move back so you can see it fully. What is it? Okay, so it's a ring stain. Yeah, perfect, Stabworthy. That's perfect. So a chisel, I wouldn't say a chisel. A chisel is a little bit more kind of narrower and thicker, isn't it, Dan? This is wider and flat, almost like a knife. Very, very thin. But what would we call this? It's very thin because it needs to get under things. So let's see the German. Well done. Okay, so we have Marcel Cortez in with scraper. So is Stabworthy. And Hassan Abbas is saying used for scraping. Yes, perfect. It is a scraper. We use it to scrape. things. If you need to just scrape paint off something or wallpaper or something like that, or dirt, if you want to scrape some dirt off something, you would use a scraper. So, yeah, well done. Great, everybody. So, next, something very mundane, but what do we call this? I hope you have one in your house. What do we call this thing? I'm going to have some tea. I should have brought some snacks. I'm just waiting to see. There probably will be some blocked messages for this one. Stabworthy's in with a very good guess. Das ist ein Klobburst. Klobburst. Very good. Okay, so it is a toilet brush, of course. A very mundane object, an important object, but it is a toilet brush used to clean a toilet. So Stabworthy, well done for that one. A mundane object, but an everyday object. You know, we're all about the conventional everyday stuff here. So, what is this stuff? So earlier we had a stain, we had a spill. This is another type of thing you don't want, isn't it? So, what do we call this black stuff? Sometimes it's black, sometimes it's green. It's not good for you, it's very dangerous. Toilet brush for toilet from shit stain. Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay, so Stabworthy's in. What do we call this stuff? You get it on food as well, but this stuff in your house is really not good. Azil7950, hello to you. What do we call this stuff? Schwarz Schimmel, absolut garlich. Okay, yeah, so very toxic, very dangerous. I had a housemate once who kind of had stuff like this in his room and it affected his vision. So, yeah, it is mold. Well done, Kretchan, Azil, Stabworthy. This is mold, something very, very bad. If you have it in your house, get rid of it. You know, up in Ireland, you know, our weather is much more wetter, so we have a lot of this in some of our older houses and some of our newer houses too. And yes, Hassan Abbas, this is a fungus. This is mold. Okay, not very good to have in your house at all. Okay, let's move on to we're finishing up with our kind of cleaning stuff. This is an interesting one. Do you know the name of this object? So here we use it to clean windows. We have one in the shower. My mother says, clean off the water before you leave the shower, please. So I try and remember. I generally forget. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Probably two words. Anorak is here. Hi, Anorak. How are you? So, what is this word? What do we call this? I like this word, I have to say. It's kind of, we have two words for it. I've seen two words popping in, but one of them just makes me smile, I'm going to say. Just makes me smile. Okay, Sabworthy, it's called the same here. We would call it that too. A lot of people are calling it a wiper. Yeah, we could definitely call it a wiper. We definitely could. But Stabworthy's in. Stabworthy's from the United States in New Jersey, and he's saying squeegee. And I would call it a squeegee as well. Squeegee. A squeegee. Yeah. Very strange word. But yeah, this is what we would call it. A wiper, I would associate more with the car. Maybe are you the same, Stabworthy? I would associate a wiper more with a car. This is a squeegee. Americans, yeah. You gotta love them, huh? This is a squeegee. So have a look. Stabworthy spelled it. I'll just jump on into the chat and spell it as well. And it's kind of exactly like you say it. Squeegee. Squeegee. A squeegee. Okay, let's move on. Some of you said this word earlier. Isn't this a beautiful graphic, I have to say? It just when I put this on, I was like, This just is meant to be here. Okay, what do we call this thing? And we go around. Maybe if I come back in, you can see me. If you go around, you clean all around with this. You go under things, you go around. I'm doing it now around the camera. What do we call this? So it's not a sponge. We did have sponge earlier. What is this one? This was a specific thing for, it's for dust, isn't it? So there might be some connection between dust and what we actually call this. So, interesting. I do see some answers in the chat already. So, what do we think? What do we think? So, Anorak, you were in with sponge, so it's not a sponge. Aziel7950 said duster, and so did Smarty Girl. Hi, Smarty Girl. Welcome back to the chat. Yes, of course, this is a duster. I'm getting blinded by the light. Let me just turn. I think I might have to lower my blind for a moment. Excuse me. One moment. There we go. You can see my total outfit for today. Okay, hello, I'm back. Okay, so this is a duster. Oh, that light is much nicer now, isn't it? This is a duster. And yes, I have my blankets on. I don't know if you could see them before. This is a duster. We use it to dust. That's what we say. That's the verb. So we have the object of dust, which we had here. This is dust. Okay, so that's the noun. Then we have a duster, another noun that collects the dirt. And then we have the adjective, something's dusty. And then we have the verb to dust. I'm going to dust the television. I'm going to dust the living room. Hello, Sarah. Hello, how are you? And nice to see you here again. A feather duster. Yes, I think this is more. Is this a feather duster? It might be a feather duster. So that's our cleaning segment. We're going to move on to the bathroom, which might also have some cleaning stuff going on. We have an interesting one straight away. So we're in the bathroom now, everybody. We're in the bath. What do we call this cleaning fluid? Okay, as you can see, it's very hard to get images of these things without the name on it. But I hope you can guess, what is a toxic cleaning fluid? You don't want to get it on your hands, but what is it called? It really gets rid of germs, bacteria. What is the name? We could call that a feather duster, even if it's not made of feathers, but it's usually made of feathers. Exactly. Very good logic. So, what is the word I am looking for here? I'm really looking for one type of word. Sarah's in with detergent. We could maybe call it detergent, but with this specific liquid, it's definitely called one thing. Yes, chemicals. It's a type of chemicals, a very strong chemical. And if you look at the color here, detergent would probably be blue or green or pink. This is a particular color. This, of course, is bleach. Anorak was in with bleach. Azil7950 bleach. Hazan Abyss was in with bleach. A jug. This could definitely be called a jug, but I call it more of a bottle, just because of what it is, a bottle jug. We have a cap here as well. ABZABEE. You're saying exactly what I pointed to, which is the cap. And yes, this is bleach, Azil7950. Sarah Sweatham is in with bleach as well. Yeah, well done, everybody. Well done. Okay, let's jump on. We're in the bathroom. What would we call this situation in the bathroom? What do we say? We need the plumber. We're having a problem. We're going to ring the plumber and we're going to say, help, I have a. What do we say? What do we say? So Stabworthy's in, Sarah's in, Anorak is in. Ooh, I've never called it that, Stabworthy. A pipe break. I've never heard that one. That's a USA one, I think. American English. I have never heard that before. Well done. Help, I have a problem. Yeah, so lots of you are in. Stabworthy was in with water leak, pipe leak. These are all acceptable. Anorak is also saying leak. A pipe break. Never heard that one, but you speak English, Stabworthy, so I'll accept it. Leakage, perfect. Like spill, we had spill and a spillage. This is saying a leakage as well as another term we could use. A water leak, yeah, from Hassan. Um, Wasserschaden, leaking from Azil 7950. Yes, the water is leaking. We have a water leak, we have a leak, we have a pipe leak. These are all perfectly good for communicating what's happening here. Well done, everybody. Okay. Hmm. So an easy one. But let's see. Let's see. Okay. First of all, what is this? What is it? It's a broken pipe. Pipe break. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But we would never say that. We would always say just a leak in the. We have a leak in the pipe, a crack in the pipe. So we have anorak in with commode, which is quite a posh term for the toilet. Yes, the commode. Very ja on toilet. Yeah, so I would say the loo. Yeah. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because we have so many words for what this is. So jump in, keep it clean, no derogatory terms or curse words, but jump in with lots. We have lots of slang for this. So keep it clean and let's see what you guys have to say. So we have commode from Adarak. Toilet, yes, it's just the toilet. That's what I would call it. Hassan, check your spelling, but commode, yeah. Le toilet, oui. Creshan is in with loo. A toilet, a lavatory, yeah. A crapper, the John, the loo, a commode, the porcelain throne. Well done, yeah, all of those. A John, yeah, we have John. What would we call it in Ireland? We call it the bog, a bog, B-O-G. The throne would be a British one. There's just so many. There's like endless amounts of slang, nice slang that we'd have. A Gen Chem laboratory. Okay. My dad calls it the office. There we go. There's a really nice one. The office. I'm trying to think of them. A bog is what we would call it. And there's loads of, curse words, of course. The crapper. It's actually there was the inventor was Crapper. That's one of the guys who invented. That's where we get the word crap from. The inventor was, I think, John Crapper, or something like that. So yeah, we have lots of nice words for it. The loo is very posh. I'm just going to the loo. Sometimes in some situations, toilet might be seen as a little bit rude or a little bit unkempt or not very posh. So if you're being very, very posh, you would say the commode, like that's super posh. But British would be very much the loo. I'm going to the loo. I have to go to the loo. Or I just need to go to the toilet. I need to go to the bathroom. Jan Chem is a real world and it's disgusting. Don't look it up online. Okay, I won't. I have no idea what it is. Respond to a call of nature, Sarah. Perfect. Yeah. Dropping the kids off at the pool. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. But we're going down a road here, which we don't need to go down. So, another thing I wanted to point out is that the toilet, the bog, as we call it in Ireland, has a few different parts, doesn't it? So, interestingly, so we have the lid here, the seat lid. What is this part at the back called? Does anyone want to say? I have two words which I am looking for. What is the bit at the back called that contains the water and it has the flush handle or a flush button? But what is this containment unit at the back called? The flush. It's no, the flush is the handle or the button. That's what we'd say. Oh, it's hit the flush or the flush handle or the flush button. But what is this bit at the back called of the toilet? Just for interesting. Stabworthy, you retracted that out. I didn't see that. Okay, so we have the tank, which I think is really American English. Tank, a flush tank. Yeah, that's a really good one. A water box. No, we would have a box that contains water, especially if it's ceramic or metal, is a tank. Especially a place where it's stored or held is a tank. So in American English, we would call this a tank, okay? A flush tank or a tank. In British English or in Ireland, We would call it the cistern. Cistern. Okay, probably a French, origin there with that one. But this is a cistern, a water cistern. That is what we would call it here. Tank in American English, cistern in British English. Oh, cistern, yeah, quite posh, isn't it? Cistern, cistern. Let me just have some tea. Okay, let's keep going. We're moving on. So we have the faucet or the tap here. Faucet is American English. Tap is British English. What do we call this thing? What do we call this thing? Every time I say Jer, it autocorrects to her. It's so annoying. I hear ya. I hear ya. It still does that with my name on my own phone. You can call me her. Just leave it at her. It's okay. Call me anything once you call me. So we have Mua Sinos Taz. Hello and welcome to the channel. You're very welcome. We have the sink from you. Sarah's also in with sink. Carmine, not sure. You're saying cistern come, so you're saying cistern, I think, as well, is what it's called, similar in German. Bathroom sink, yeah, exactly. Any other word for it? We have another word which we might use. Kind of drainage sink. Yeah, a sink. Bathroom sink, the sink. Anyone else got another word for it? There is another word which can be used. Anyone want to guess? I'm going to jump into the chat myself and say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Basin. A basin. Now, usually a basin is something that you can take out. It's like a little open container of water. But sometimes some people will call this a basin as well, a water basin. Yeah, a basin. Yeah. I would stick with sink, but just be aware that it can be called a basin as well. A wash basin, exactly. A water basin, a wash basin, or just a basin. Okay. Sink is perfect though. Stick with sink. Okay. What do we call this liquid? You might be inclined to call it the brand name. That's not what I'm looking for. What do we call this? What would I call this? I'm saying, Mum, you're going to. So we put this in our mouth. What do we call this? What's it used for? It's used after you brush your teeth, and then you take a little bit, and then you spit it out. Yes, Mundwasser. I love it, Carmine. Okay, so we have a zeal in with mouthwash, a gargle. Yeah, we could also call it a mouth gargle or throat gargle. A gargle is more of a medicine vibe, though. I would generally just call this mouthwash. You can gargle, like the verb to gargle with mouthwash, but I would stick with mouthwash. Karan Kumar and Carmine and Stabworthy are all in with mouthwash. Yes, very good. Okay, so what do we call this thing? Teeth water. We directly say Listerine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Lots of people. That's why I like. I know the brand name, and I know some people will just call it Listerine. Yeah, a tub stopper. Okay, so two words for this. I forgot about stopper. So I would call this something else. Stabworthy's in with the American, which is like a tub stopper. Tub is what we another word for the bath. A bath stopper, maybe. Stops the water. So that's really what it's doing. It stops the water. It's a stopper. But I would call it something else beginning with P. P. Anyone want to guess what I'm thinking? Pull out the p, p, p. Stabworthy, well done. The plug. Yeah, I would call it a plug. Pull out the plug. But Stopworthy is also in with tub stopper, a stopper. And I think we have a similar word in German there from Carmine. So stopper, yeah, or a plug. Well done. So I want to know exactly what this bar is. So I'm sure if you want to give me what this is called as well, but what specifically is this bar called that holds this thing? What would we call it? I see lots of people. So, yes, this is a towel. A towel rhymes with owl. Towel. I've heard some people call it a towel. A towel. But we want to make sure that we have the correct pronunciation here. Towel. Towel. So this is a towel. What would I call it? I would call it a towel rack. A towel rack. Towel stand. Yeah, we could have a stand. If it wasn't connected to the wall, it would be a towel stand. Sarah Swalim is in with rack. We have bar, maybe at a push, maybe Mustinaz, a towel bar. Stabworthy's in with rack as well. Yeah, a towel hanger at a push on a rack. At a push, maybe we could call it a towel hanger, but towel rack, a rack. This is definitely a rack. We hang things off a rack. So you could have a rack for your pots and your pans. You could have a towel rack. Why is a W is towel, towel, towel? Pretty much, yeah. Like it's hard when you're an English speaker. It's hard to really tell. Is that silent? Let me just check. Is tell we it's not really silent. It's part of the OW sound. So if you think of the owl, 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 owl. So it's in there. It is in there. It's just it's kind of changed with the other letters. That it's towel. Yeah, but if you look at Sumikism with bowl, Bowl, we do have some difference there. So towel, owl, but bowl. So we do have with English, of course, this is the difficulty with English. The E is silent, pronounce it towel. That's a better way to say it, Tubworthy. Okay, let's keep going. So earlier we had sink and we had a basin. So what's happening here? What would be there would be one word for this event. The water is coming out and over and down. Okay, there's too much water. What is the word I'm looking for? It is a type of spillage. Yes, exactly. It is a type of spillage. Obviously, the water is coming down. But when we have plumbing, what when we have plumbing in this situation, and this can happen maybe in a tank upstairs, this can happen with the toilet as well, this can happen. What do we say when the water comes up, out, and over? We have a particular word, and I just said one of the critical ones there. This is an overflow of water when the water has come up, out, and down, or overflow of water. My cup runneth over. Exactly, yeah. Overflowing water, yes. So if you were ringing up the plumber, you'd say, the water is overflowing. I have an overflow of water in my sink and I can't stop it. I have an overflow, a big leak, a big leak. Okay, jumping on. What is this thing called? We use it in the bathroom. You might use it in the sink. What is this one called? Yeah, sorry for the hand movements. What is this one called? Stopworthy's in. Have a look and see what Stopworthy has said. Do you agree? A plumber's friend. It absolutely is. On Pumpel. Pumpel. Lovely. Love that German word. What words do we have for this? What is the word? We don't have words, we have one word. What is this called in English? Sabrady's in. Oh, I see Gretchen in with the emoji. I didn't know there was an emoji. I'd prefer to snuggle in my blanket. So this is a plunger. 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 Very well done, Stabworthy, and to Gretchen who got that in. Too cold for this weather. Too cold. Yes, it is cold. It is. That's why I have my blankets. but the heating's on. Firefighters fight fires, a driver drives, a plumber plums. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, it is. It's getting very cold here in Dublin. I have to check what the temperature is actually. The temperature is, let me just close all these windows. Temperature is 4 degrees in Dublin at the moment. 4 degrees. So it's definitely super cold. So what's this thing called? What is it called? This is the quiz where you say what things are. Very good, Sarah. Can you give me another word, maybe? I need a little bit more information. You got, that word is perfect. I just want to add in a little bit more information. Deutsch Vorhang. I do love saying these Germans. I think I'm learning German, Carmine. Drapery. Is it a drapery? Drapery to me is, I don't know. It does drape. Definitely, it drapes. So we have shower curtains, okay? Shower curtains from Anorak. Sarah, you were in with curtains. And yes, these are definitely curtains. But if we want to be specific, because curtains could be the ones on the window curtains. So if we're going to be very specific, yeah, shower curtains. So this is a shower curtain. Starboard in with shower curtain as well. So well done. Gretchen, shower curtains, well done. Birmer grade 3. Ich mochte einen Bierkrug, Carmine. That's really the extent of my. And ich mochte einen Sticker. Okay. What is this thing called in the bathroom? Gets rid of all that steam, doesn't it? It takes away the steam. Sometimes when you put the light on, it comes on automatically. But what do we call this type of fan when it's in the bathroom? So think it's taking things out of the air in the bathroom. It's sucking things out of the air. So yes, it is a type of fan or a type of vent, but we would have a particular term for this one, especially when it takes things out of the air. So it might take the steam, the humidity, might remove it. We would have these here in Ireland and in Europe. This is quite a common thing to prevent too much moisture in the bathroom. So what is it? We see a fan here. It's a type of vent. So I'm going to start typing the answer, see if anyone can beat me. Hello, Pooja Rajvar. Hello, welcome back to the channel. So this is what we would call an extractor fan or a ventilator fan. Quite common in European bathrooms, an extractor fan or a ventilator fan. And this is an electrical device that will usually, remove the steam from the room. If you have a lot of steam after the shower or the bath and you want to remove that from the room, you would use an extractor fan or a ventilator fan. An extractor fan is also what we would have over the oven as well. Ventilation. Yes, exactly. It's all about ventilation. An exhaust. No, an exhaust is really with the car. Can we call it EF like AC? No, no, we wouldn't call it an EF. We would just stick with extractor fan, or you could just say the fan. If you want to be, not very specific. Turn on the fan, get rid of the room. Get rid of the steam. So what do we call this? So we have steam, but when the steam hits the shower door or the mirror, what do we call this stuff? Some people might call it steam. The steam is on the glass, the steam is on the windows. But what do we call this? What is it? What is it exactly? So Sarah's saying vapor. Vapor is more of a gas. So this is more heavier. This has water in it. Extractor fan is not a phrase I've ever heard before. You'll have to come to Europe and see our extractor fans. That's the one as well we would have over the oven to remove. It extracts the smells and the grease from the air. Wasserdamp. So water damp, I think, would be the literal translation there, wouldn't it be, Carmine? Water damp. So evaporated water. You're close. So the correct term for this is condensation. Condensation. Bucket of steam is a phrase you taught us last week. Yes, and a glass hammer as well is a good one. A glass hammer is very useful. So this is condensation. Condensation. You get it in your car, on a glass of an icy glass. Condensation. Condensation. You know, the steam. We have steam in the air, and then it hits the glass. It hits the mirror. Jared, do you mean small drops of water? Yes. Condensation. Steam. Um, condensate. Okay. So let's move on to our last section, which is kind of decor, decorating, painting, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so what do we call this one? Do you like my wallpaper? Condensation is such a good word. I can't believe I forgot that word. I know it's sometimes, even though we're English speakers, those words can escape us. Condensation. Well done, Sarah. Immer Brille. Sorry, that's me just trying to say the German. A paint rolling brush. Yeah, we could definitely call it this, a paint rolling brush. We do have another word though for this type of brush when it rolls. So you're definitely onto the type to, if you said the paint rolling brush in the store, they would know exactly what you mean. So yes. Droplets, yeah, droplets of water, that hang in the air and then they hit the glass. So, what is this thing called? So, Sarah is in with painting rolling brush, which is very good. We do have a better word though when it comes to this word roll. Okay. And Anorak's in with paint roller, a roller from Gretchen as well. Yes, a roller. When something like this moves like this, it's a roller. When it spreads something out, it's a roller. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, let's move on. What is this stuff? So this is the stuff, this is the movement I might make with this. What is this stuff called? I'm always making funny movements on this. So what we have here, so this is used to smoothen wood. So if you have a few little bumps in something, you can smoothen them out with this. What is this? The wheels in the bus roll round and round. Stop where these in. Scraper. It is a type of scraper. We did have scraper earlier. I would go with sandpaper with stop where these in, Gretchen's in. I think Carmine's in with snorkel paper. Love that. Sandpaper. Yeah, it's that kind of very rough material. We're relying on friction to remove surface, smoothen surfaces out. A file, similar to a file. So you would have this material on a nail file. Yeah, this type of material, very rough material to smoothen and sharpen things. But this is sandpaper. Maybe a file is used for nails. Yes, perfect. Perfect. So this is sandpaper. Sometimes it comes like this in a roll. Sometimes you get it in square pieces or rectangular pieces, and you use it to smooth wood or rough surfaces. So, so we have a particular word here. We have a light bulb that can change the light intensity. So it can get dim or it can get bright. So I want to know the name of this device that changes the light intensity. Going to go for dinner. Enjoy the session. See you soon. Tom. Thanks, Tom. Nice to see you. I didn't know your name was Tom. Thanks, Anorak. Sanding. Yeah, so we would use a sandpaper for sanding. So does anyone want to have a guess at what this is? So Stabworthy's in, I can see it there. Very good. What is this thing called? So we have the light. It can be bright. It can also be dim. Dim is a good word here. So what is this device called? And you turn it to make the light brighter or more dim. So this is quite a common. I think this is very American. We do have these. We have one downstairs, but I always think of this as more of an American thing. Are we on early today? Yes, I had to come on early today, just for a few different reasons. So, yes, indeed, I've been on for just about an hour so far. I did put a post up on the channel last night So apologies if you didn't see that. So this is a dimmer switch, a dimmer switch, or just a dimmer. So the key word here is dim, which is dim is when something is dull or not bright. So we would call this a dimmer switch. Okay, let's move on. So what do we call this white stuff that goes in between tiles? Okay, so you want to have a nice finish on your tiles. So we put this white stuff in, it holds the tiles in place and finishes the whole job. What is the name of this white stuff that we put in between tiles? Jump into the chat and let me know. I'm all out of tea. Mortar. I think a mortar is a very good term for that, but it's not exactly right. Not exactly right. We do have a very specific type of word for this. So we have mortar, we have filling or filler. Filler could be a good word. Gypsum. Gypsum is a type of material. Goo from Stabworthy. So we have what a particular word here, okay, for this. It does begin with G. It's grout or grouting. That's what we call the white stuff that goes between tiles, okay? Grout or grouting. Caulk. Caulk is more like a silicone filling that we put around as a sealant. So sealant. Is it different from mortar? Yes, mortar is more stone based and cement based, as far as I know. Uh, Grouting is. Let's just check. Let's just check. I want to make sure. Uh, so I'm asking Google, what's the difference between mortar and grout? Okay, what's the difference between mortar and grout? Mortar is thick, sticky, high strength mixture used to bond bricks, stones, and blocks. Okay, while grout is thinner, more fluid paste used to fill the gaps between tiles. Yeah, so as I said, mortar is more about masonry and bricks and rocks and stone, where grout is a fluid paste used to fill the gaps between tiles. Uh, I'm just checking if Americans call grout something else. So Americans call it grout too. Okay, there we go. I am Groot. Oh, I love that. I love that. Brick and mortar, I think it's the physical store. Brick and mortar is all walls and stone and building. So we had this a few weeks ago, this one. This is a device that we use to bring stuff around, carry stuff around. What is the name of this device? Very commonly used in building, decoration. You know, if you want to bring stones or bricks or mortar around, what is this device called? What is it called? I am Groot. I love that. I am Grout. So Sai KTK is in, Gretchen is in, Carmine is in, Shukupkara, which sounds quite similar to the English. What do we call this? I think this word sounds very medieval, very old time British. So Sai KTK is in with wheelbarrow, and so is Kretchan. Wheelbarrow. I'm just going to fetch the wheelbarrow, Mama. The wheelbarrow. It's been used a lot nowadays in the White House. It is indeed, Sarah. Hopefully, they bring out a lot more rubbish with their wheelbarrows. Okay, an easy one. Answer in the chat. If this is your first time here, make sure and say hi. What is this called? Used in lots of literal and figurative terms and senses. Gretchen's in. Sai KTK is in as well. I still can't believe there was two Sais yesterday and I didn't realize. Sarah, you're giving me the emoji. I love it. So, Gretchen is in, Sai is in, and Sarah is in with a ladder. Yes, a ladder. Das ist einen Letter. A ladder. Ladder. Sorry, I think my voice is starting to go. So, just a few more, and we're going to finish up. So, what are these handy things used all around the house, used in lots of useful and interesting ways? Karan Kumar, yes, ladder, well done. What do we call these things? Everybody has them, don't they? What are they used for? Impossible to get off. I put one on my arm once and couldn't remove it. I had to get someone to cut it off. A stripe. No, it's not called a stripe, I'm afraid, but good guess. Thanks for guessing. This is a very particular term. I'm not expecting a lot of people to get this. Stripes. Everyone's saying stripes. Maybe it is called stripes regionally somewhere, but I would call these. I'm going to pop it into the chat. I'm going to hit enter in a few seconds, or couple nomade, as we say in Irish. Plastic handcuffs. Unfortunately, these can be used as handcuffs. Thank you, Suka, for that. I didn't want that was on my mind. I didn't want to go there, but yes, these can be used as handcuffs. Quite efficient ones as well, I think. But I think if there is a trick to get out of them if you watch that on YouTube. So these are called cable ties. Cable ties. Cable ties. Okay. So when you have wires and you want to put them together to make them tidy, we have another word for those wires is cable, a cable. So we use these to make them tidy and put them together. I don't know. Hi again. Hello to you. And Kabelbinder. Kabelbinder from in German. Yes, well done. So cable ties in English. Cable ties in English. Another really handy particular thing you will often get with IKEA, maybe if you're putting together IKEA furniture or lots of different things, we would use one of these. These are very handy. Every house should definitely have a set of these. I've worked in many jobs, I've had to run out and get a set of these for something or other. What is this thing called? This is like a kind of like a wrench that has a particular set of sizes. I'm going to pop it in. Yes, Suka. Yeah, you're right. So these are called monkey bars. I need to check that. Okay. So these are called, let's just see if anyone else has jumped in. These are called an Allen key, Allen keys. Okay, Allen. They kind of come with furniture that you put together a lot. Like, so you might get some with some IKEA furnitures. They're just instead of the normal tools that you can use. You can use this quite effectively to tighten things up, and they come in particular sizes. So you would definitely get them in like a set. You maybe get six or seven together, and they go for up in different sizes. So these are Allen keys. Well done to Suka. You got that correct. I wasn't expecting anybody to get that correct. Okay, another thing that we hang in decoration is these things. These things kind of usually hang off curtains, they usually hang off lamps and things like that. What do we call this decoration? Okay, it hangs off things, it hangs usually on curtains. First letters. The first letter is T. I'm waiting for you, Stabworthy, to say your joke. Sorry, I had to. It looks like an earring. It does look like an earring. Very good, Suka. Very good. And Sai, you're very close. You were so close, Sai. The correct term is tassel. This is a tassel. Very good, Stabworthy. Yeah, tinsel. You were so close, Sai. So close. Tassel. Tassel. These are tassels. I hope I didn't give it away. I work with these tools too, very handy. It comes in all sizes from Gretchen. Yes, the Allen key is very handy. So these are tassels. You will see them hanging off curtains. We call Allen key also an Allen wrench. Oh, very good. Yes, it is a type of wrench as well. Once you're saying the word Allen, Allen, like the name Allen, people will know what you mean. So well done. So this is a tassel. Yeah, an interesting one. Also used in cabaret, but we won't go there. This is a tassel. So, an easy one now. What is this tool called? If this is your first time with the channel, make sure and jump on and say hi. Let me know where you're watching from and jump in with an answer. I'm sure you know what the answer is. Hmm. So let's have a look and see what people are saying. We have Sarah in, I don't know, Sai, KTK, Hemanji Parab, hello, Carmine, oh, I like it. Suka is all in. You are all in with hammer. Yes, this is just a basic hammer. Molineux, I love that. Um, from Thor, of course. So yes, this is a hammer, just a basic hammer. It's not any particular type of hammer. This is just a general hammer. I didn't get what the Allen keys are. So Allen keys are a set of wrenches, small wrenches that have a particular size and they fit a particular hole and you can turn things with them. Okay. So they come in different sizes. So you can get like a bunch of them and they're used, it's like a general size wrench that you can use to turn different nuts and bolts and things like that. So well done, everybody. That's a hammer. Another easy one. What's this one called? What is this? Tell me what it is in English. So we just had hammer. So every house should have one of these as well, shouldn't they? What is this one called? Carmine, excellent. Not that I know if it is excellent, but it kind of just looks right. A wrench. So we kind of had the wrenches already with the Allen. Very important stuff in Soviet. Okay. So we have Rick Blues Power in first with the correct answer, which is flat screwdriver. Yes, you're being very particular with your, you're being very specific. A flat screwdriver. And Stabworthy is very specific as well. A flat head screwdriver. Perfect, perfect English. Can anyone tell me what the other one is? What do we call the one that's like a cross at the end? Uh, points to you if you know that one. A screwdriver from Hamanji Parab, yes. Control pen. Interesting, but not correct. Gretchen, a screwdriver. So we're saying CTK is saying a plus. I would call it a Phillips screwdriver. If it has the plus, yes, I happen to be an auto mechanic here. Oh, very good. Phillips said, "Oh, you beat me to it." Oh, you do get the extra points. You get the emoji, which is, let's see, I'm gonna give you some brainy, which is my channel mascot. That's for Stabworthy. So a Phillips head screwdriver is the plus sign, the cross one. So here we have a flat head, and then the screwdriver which has the cross at the end is called a Phillips head screwdriver. Top points to you. Hooray! Hooray! Yes, hooray. Okay, what is this called? Something completely different. What would we call this? The last piece of our home decor and home DIY vocabulary. Very good. Very good. Very good. A tea pad. Oh my God, no clue. So this is a type of lace, okay? Sometimes it can be tissue. Sometimes it can be like it's like a coaster. Clearly, I don't know. By name, by nature. So this is a doily, okay, a type of like paper lace. I just thought I'd throw in a very, very tricky one at the end. So thank you, Stabworthy. Well done. Stabworthy is the winner of today's quiz, everybody. He did very well. So well done. A doily. Yeah, a doily. A doily. Yeah, it's like a paper lace kind of coaster. So yeah, well done, everybody. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the quiz today. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Hip hip hooray! Well done, Stabworthy. Well done. And of course, everyone's a winner, baby. Everyone's a winner, baby. That's the truth. Uh, is it for glass? Yeah, it's for glass, or it's like a coaster for like your mug to stop like